I spent a lot of time thinking about a tribute speech. Who sticks out or means enough to me that I could dedicate a speech to how they've impacted my life? I could obviously write it about my parents. They've taught me everything I know, and my entire life is a reflection of them. Or I could write about my friends and the countless situations I've been in that they've helped me through. But immediately, when thinking about writing this speech, one situation stood out in particular. Dance is a huge part of my life, and I would not be the same person without it. In my freshman year of high school, I made the decision to switch schools, and I started to attend a performing arts school in St. Paul. I'm not going to lie and say that this was an easy decision or that I wasn't nervous. I was going to a brand new school, making all new friends, riding the city bus, and suddenly being trained to become a professional dancer. It was a whole new world for me, and it was scary. In January, we had something called J-term. When we would normally be in school, we would be in rehearsal, and we put on a big performance at the end of the month. There were many different options for the dance piece that you could be cast in, and you had to audition for each one. Me, never being in a formal audition in my life, did horribly in each one. But somehow I was cast in my top choice, contemporary ballet. I walked in on the first day to a studio full of upperclassmen. Now, this might not sound like a big deal, but these kids had gone to that school for 3 years, and their skill levels surpassed mine. The first few days were a struggle. I could not keep up with the speed that the choreography was being thrown at us, and the intricacy of the movements themselves put my brain in knots. But getting to who this speech is about, my choreographer, Will. This may sound like an insignificant figure in my life, but what he taught me not only changed the way I look at dance, but how I look at life. At the end of the first week, I felt defeated. I was never going to be able to learn this dance, and I was going to ruin the show. That was the actual mentality that I had. Now, Will had been my ballet teacher the previous semester, so he had a rough idea of what my technique was like. He pulled me aside the Monday we came back and told me that he knew this dance was going to be a little over my skill level, but that I could do it and that he was going to make sure that I was catching on. This may sound crazy, but that little boost of confidence is what I needed. I was able to keep up with the entire dance and learn the whole thing. The next week, I even was able to have a duet part added for me. Compared to the first week, I was a different dancer. After our performance, I had another talk with Will. He told me how proud of me he was and how far I had come in just 3 weeks. This changed me as a dancer completely. I had always been in easy dance classes where I was the best one. Suddenly being thrown into this class where I was the worst one was a shocker. And if I didn't have Will as my choreographer, I would have sat back and continued to be the worst one in that class, struggling with myself and how to get better. If I would have had a different choreographer who didn't care about me and wouldn't have said those things, I probably would have had a normal part in dance. I most likely would have left that school, and my dance technique would have declined very quickly. After those 3 weeks, my confidence level boosted and I continued to excel in my dance classes, even moving up a level. Without having Will as my J-term choreographer, I would have continued to look at dance with the mindset of, I can't do that, or I shouldn't even try that because I'll never be able to accomplish it. The lessons that he also taught us about his life, I will keep in the back of my mind forever. He taught me so many helpful lessons. This is why he made me into the dancer that I am today. And the things that he's told me helped me make some decisions in my life, and I could never thank him enough for that. This made him a significant figure in my life and led me to write this speech about him.